us a little bit about yourself, your name, and your role in the Kalinago territory. We know that you're one of the main elders, leaders in the community, so just introduce yourself.
My name is Irvince Auguiste. My traditional name is Nanishi, and that means courageous. And I have been a former chief. I have been a representative of the Caribbean indigenous people at different forums internationally. And I'm a tour operator. My own business is tour operations. Presently, I am the coordinator of the National Employment Program for the Kalinago territory and Atkinson. And well, I just do a lot of things.
A man of many talents and skills and leadership.
A master of none.
Okay, one of the questions that is very important to us in this discussion is trying to find out why or what are your views on the significance of the Kalinago heritage to the Dominican history?
For sure, it is significant in the way that the Karinago people were here long before the arrival of Columbus, and the continuation of well, existence of us after that to today have had many pieces to it. The way that we live, the culture itself, the things that we've done, um, how we have existed even today in our own community, having our own community, and participating in a number of national events, so to speak, with what we have. And the fact that Dominicans generally can learn and begin to appreciate more the existence of the Kalinago people, not just as an existence of Kalinago people. They were just there. Columbus met them, but that they were part of a bigger society. It was not just Dominica, but that we had a number of other persons on different islands. Um, the fact that when you study the archaeology, it shows that we were present in different islands and there was a system of governance that existed long before CSME, and federations and all that kind of thing. So, and the way that we coexisted then with nature, the way that we hunt, but there was always more because we did not destroy so many things. The fact that we were able to heal ourselves out of herbal medicines and that kind of thing without having a doctor as it is today. So all that in itself, I think, is very important to us and to mankind. I
Yeah.
understand.
A very rich history that could add to the value of our lives and our heritage as Dominicans.
Mhm.
I happen to know that you held a very important and significant role
Mm,
representing the Kalinago people nationally.
mm.
So, can you speak to the importance of governance of the Kalinago people in the whole wider scheme of national development, the governance within the Kalinago territory?
Well, governance is something that have always been close to me, close to my heart, in the sense that yeah, at the age of 21, so I still hold a record as being the youngest chief ever elected. Um, I had this feeling that the Kalinago people had not only existed on Dominica, and as I said earlier, and with the heritage shows that we were all over the place, we had occupied all the islands, and so in moving forward, participating in national elections and doing the hope of developing the community itself. How do we develop ourselves in a modern society and maintain a culture, maintain identity as a people? And that has always been something, I follow and I have discussed. And I mean, I'm happy to say that even the current parliamentary representative and myself, we share a lot on that. It is the fact that I think the office of the chief and council should remain. the focal point, the government. That's the government of the indigenous peoples of Dominica, and that as we move forward, that we govern the territory in a way that more houses will come, more cultural activities will take place, more interaction will take place with different persons. But it is how do we make that? How do we maintain that kind of connection? How do we stay um, keeping culture, keeping music, developing the language, and that kind of thing? So for me, I always think that the chief and council need to be able to organize the territory in such a way that it brings on board as many Kalinago people as possible, but also bring in as many other persons who are not of Kalinago descent, but who have an interest in culture and heritage to help in the process.
As you are one of the elders, well known, and as I said before, I know you're not saying much about you, but you've held some of the highest positions within the governance of the territory. What is a key area that you think needs a little bit more focus going forward in safeguarding the Kalinago heritage?
I believe that the whole focus of the development of the territory as it relates to education, because one of the areas is that persons get educated in different institutions, different places, and so forth. But there's not sufficient education programs dealing with indigenous peoples. So while somebody may become a doctor or a lawyer or a pilot, I'm Kalinago, but he doesn't understand, and I think that that is why one of the things I'm saying too is I believe it would be great to have our own secondary school on the territory. Um, not to create a segregation, but to be able to build a foundation of the persons understanding themselves as indigenous first, what it means to them, and that way I think when you become a lawyer, when you become a doctor, when you be whatever you become, you're an automatic ambassador wherever you go because you understand your own heritage. When it comes to architecture, an architect can a Kainago architect can spend more time in research in indigenous architecture, so that when he applies it back in the territory, it is lovely, it is nice, it is good for us, it is good for Dominica in a general sense, because when visitors come through, they see something different. The persons who the chef, instead of the chef learning here to do international cuisine, but what of indigenous cuisine? Because that is what is special, not only to us, but that is what is special to the island economically. Because persons come, they see a different architecture, they have a chance to eat traditional indigenous cuisine in Dominica. That adds value to Dominica and to us. So the education is very important as to how we educate our indigenous young people.
So one takeaway for bringing that theme with you.
Thank you. Um, my takeaway on it is that whilst we develop as a people, whilst we get exposed more to the world, every Kalinago person, young person, have the internet in their hands, and so I would want to continue to encourage, as I am doing already, that that's a university that you have in your hand. Research indigenousness, you understand more about indigenous peoples, and so you are able to appreciate an African culture, a white culture, because you understand yourself and you have it in your hands. So instead of spending time probably playing games or just surfing for surfing and having a lot of discussion on posting on WhatsApp and Facebook and whatever. At the same time, take that and do research because it will help in the building up of the community at large.